So, because I didn't finish my thought on Game of Thrones, now, the Dornish, they represent the passion of the Christ. You have to understand that you are the Christ just as much as you are Satan. You're both. We are all both. Because the story of the Bible is replicated 7.6 billion times in Earth. Okay? And think of it this way. Everyone is thinking in terms of Earth. I am thinking in Armageddon. Nothing has changed, guys, except my point of view. Therefore, if there are 144,000 demonic spirits in Earth, they know about Armageddon. And right now, it's 144,000 to a few, I would say, who think like Armageddon. You need to transform your consciousness. You need to destroy your illusions. You need to understand the truth that it's depicted in everything. That creation code is depicted in everything. And make a one-dimensional line to Armageddon. So, you know the Freemason secret? Shh. They're making a cross with their mouth and it's touching their nose and all that stuff. What else are they doing? What number is this? That's a 14. And that's a 29. But what are they showing you? Are they showing you a 14? Or are they showing you a 29? Because a 1 is a 14. Because a 14 by 1, one-dimensional line, is equal to a 14 straight on, depicting 14 cells. Shh. 14, they're hiding the 14 from you, just as much as they're hiding the 29 from you. Okay? The Dornish represent the passion of the Christ because they are pretty goddamn passionate, okay? I can see myself in every character in Game of Thrones. Every character. And I see other people as other characters. Okay? Like Sir... what's his name? The Onion guy. The Onion Knight. With the red lady. He's my UK bud. I see him as... Anyways. He was like the first guy that was there when Jon Snow, reborn, you know, woke up again. So like, anyway. I see myself as the dwarf. I drink and I know things. That's what I do. So, it's humorous. Like, I could sit down literally with my friends and family, start at season 1, episode 1, go all the way to end of season 6. We can watch it, we can pause it a whole bunch of times. I can reflect on the similarities between Game of Thrones and the Bible, and my theory of numbers, and all the numbers depicted on the screen, everything. So, I'm sure I could put a very valiant argument together about this. I'm sure that any one of you can go into your kitchen and grab something and look at the logo on it, and decode it. Now think of it this way. We are all Atlas. Atlas is a dude that holds ball Earth on his back. His or her back. You're dragging around a cumbersome ball Earth on your back. Put it down because it doesn't spin, guys. Cellular. The Earth was, Armageddon is. Make the one-dimensional line. Shh. Okay. So, yeah, Game of Thrones. Yeah, the Dornish. The passion of the Christ is with the obvious Targaryen for history to repeat itself. Okay? Then you have the other Targaryen that no one calls by his right name, which you're rooting for. And then you're not rooting for Cersei and her brother. And they're trying to create their own reality. Everyone in Game of Thrones is trying to create their own reality. Okay? Do you understand this? Do you understand that Littlefinger is trying to create his own reality? Because every time he closes his eyes and sees the waters, he is raptured. You see colors, guys, when you close your eyes. You see the water, you see the blackness, you see something, you see a cross, you see swirls. Every time he closes his eyes, he sees a picture of him sitting on the iron throne. Okay? With, what's her name? The redhead by his side. Not good with names. Anyways, so don't even know what her name is in real life. So he's trying to create his own reality. Obviously, the Lady Targaryen lady is trying to create her own reality. The Dornish chick is trying to create her own reality. Jon Snow's trying to create his own reality by trying to save everyone. As his savior. From the boogeyman that the Southerners don't even believe exists. Even some Northerners don't even believe in the White Walkers. The Tullys don't believe in the White Walkers because when Sam went home, his father is sitting at the table. His brother scoffed at the idea of a White Walker, and he killed one, but they won't believe him because I guess they didn't see it with their own eyes. They weren't there. They don't believe the story. They don't believe it came from him. This fat, pig-like, useless fighter killed a White Walker and a Thin, and he has to lie about the baby. So he's Job. For the greater good of the baby and the mother. So he's sacrificing, putting his ass on the line for a lie, to tote a lie, just like the Freemasons are, okay? It's in everything. And now that I'm thinking about it, when I do the cellular math again, I said it wrong earlier. So remember, you can gematria numbers written as words. That's why I write the comments like I write the comments. The Earth is evolving from a 3 to a 5. The Earth is evolving from 1 of 7 of 13 and 110 because the 1 is a circle around a 7, 13, and 110. Now, a 9 is a depiction of 110 because all a 9 is a circled 0 and 1, which is a 1, and a 0, which is 110, quite obviously. Armageddon is a 1 by 5, meaning the circle actually goes around a 1, a 5. Armageddon is a 1 by 5, meaning the one-dimensional line, or circle, goes around a 1, a 4, a 5, a 6, and a 0. 3 makes 4. 3 cells make a 4, make a 5 cell. But that 5 cell has a 1 around it. So, Armageddon is 1 of 4, of 5, of 6, of 0. The death is in the details. Accuracy, guy. Now, early on, a year ago, when I drew the Vesica Pisces zodiac, and I did my birth date and my ex's birth date, and I drew a one-dimensional line, 7 days off. She is one of the 13 other zodiac signs, and we have 9 years difference between us, which I depicted as 110, which are number of revolutions around the Vesica Pisces. That's how. Now think of the term soulmate. Now in gematria, I see a lot of Shilane Amber Gree. In gematria, I see a lot of Shilane Amber Graves, and I see a lot of Austin Lee Meredith. Now, I've depicted my children as Austin Lee Meredith. I've depicted my ex-partner as Austin Lee Meredith because of her initials, in a certain point of view, depict an ALM. Seems everyone's Austin Lee Meredith but me. Now, we are exactly 1 of 7 days of 13 different zodiac signs of the 14 of 9 years difference, which is 100 of 10. I literally think that when our souls left the light from our star systems, I got here we left at the same time. But I got here 9 years before she did. Because females are worth more than males. Male reproductive organs. Let's just think of male output organs, depicting your pee and your poo. Okay? We have 2 exits, and in a certain point of view, 0 inserts. Okay? We have pee and poo, and nothing should be going in there. Depicting a 20. Females need to create life. They still pee and poo, but they also have an input, because they need an input to create a babe, to create life. So female depicts a 21. A 20 and a 21 are encircled. Therefore, they can be added together and the circle merges into brackets. 20 plus 21 is 41 encircled. 41 encircled is a 42, the answer to everything. Now, there are 7.6 billion types of personalities out there, and we are not all going to get along and agree on everything. And some males might want to be a 21, and some females might want to be a 22, and I don't have a problem with any of that. They just are a doubly encircled 42, a 41, whatever it is. You know what I mean? We can all get along. People aren't going to change overnight. Not going to happen. So, for history not to repeat itself in Game of Thrones, you want the Lannisters to win. You want the Lannisters to be in power. Or do you want no one to be in power? Probably. But what did the Lannister do? What did Cersei do? She blows up the Sept with all of the religious crazy people in there. With the Queen and her father, which she very well knew would force her son to commit suicide because she kept him cooped up in a tower. He lost his marbles. Boo! She's the next in line. There are 3 great powers. There's also some other ones, like the fisherman guy. And then there's the White Walkers. What did that depict? The cleansing of all of life in Earth. Because all the souls need to have a revelation. The White Walkers need to cleanse the Earth, so that they can all go to Armageddon. Their 3D perspective of reality can change to a 5D perspective, and they can start to understand the numbers in the table of creation. They can start to understand creation code. They can understand how to see it in everything. They can understand how to explain it to others, because they will have the confidence of what they're preaching, because the synchronicities line up. And if you can put the synchronicities of truth into your own words and calculate in gematria, I swear you will see a hell of a lot of Austin Lee Meredith. And maybe even some Sheila Amber Graves. Because all the signs and symbols in my reality point to that one thing. And it cannot be refuted. It is a theory that I can prove mathematically, which I didn't ask for. They're just there. I have a story about people at my house. We had an M sitting next to an M standing next to a Z. 2 M's standing next to a Z. 2 13s standing next to a Z guy. And the names and everything, it depicted creation. It blew my mind. I want to do a video about it, but I want to talk to them first before I do that. Cheers, guys.